Dear children, today we are going to study Environmental Science EVS Chapter 2, The Young Ones. Before starting this chapter, let me introduce you with synopsis. We will learn that all living things grow and reproduce young ones. Understand what hereditary traits in human mean. Know the difference among natural parents, adoptive parents, and foster parents. Appreciate the importance of adoption. First of all, I will like to show you some pictures and you have to identify. What comes to your mind when you see these pictures? Yes, these pictures are of animals. Today we are going to learn more about animals. We see different animals around us. Some animals are big while some are small. Animals are living things. Animals are of different shape, size and nature. Animals are very useful to us. They breathe, eat food, grow in size, move from one place to another in search of food and home, and reproduce by either laying eggs or by giving birth to young ones. So from this we come to know that animals are living things. There are different type of animals. Pet animals. The animals which we can keep inside our home are called pet animals. For example, cats, parrots, dogs, etc. Many of you must also have pets at home. Domestic animals. Some animals are kept on farms. They give us many useful things. Example, goat, cow, buffalo, hens, etc. Yes. So how they give us many useful things? Let's see. Well, have you heard about poultry farming or dairy farming? Poultry farming is raising the hens to rear them for their eggs and for meat. Dairy farming is raising the cows and buffaloes for their milk and meat. Wild animals. Some animals wander freely in jungles. They are called wild animals. They cannot be tamed. They are not friendly. How many of you went to zoo? I think most of you must have gone there. Yes, you can see some wild animals in zoo. Mammals. Mammals are animals that give birth to their babies or young ones and feed them with their milk. For example, monkey, deer, bear, horse, goat, human beings. Amphibians. Animals that can live both in water and on land are called amphibians. Example, frog, crocodile, etc. Birds. Birds are animals that can fly. They have two legs and two wings. They have feathers and a tail. They have a beak. There are some birds which do not fly. Penguins, ostriches, kiwis, etc. Some birds can swim in water. Example, duck. Reptiles. The animals that crawl along with their bodies very close to the ground are called reptiles. Examples are snake, lizard, chameleons, tortoise, etc. Rodents. Some animals with sharp teeth like rats and rabbits are called rodents. Insects. Insects are small animals Animals like honeybees, ants, bugs, butterflies, grasshoppers, houseflies, cockroaches are some examples of insects. Their body is divided into three parts. They have 6 legs. Most insects have wings. Animals and their young ones. This is a picture of animals and their young ones. The first picture is of tiger and its young one, that is cub. The second picture is of hen and its young one, that is chick. The third picture is of frog and its young one, that is tadpole. The fourth picture is of cow and its young one, that is calf. Now I will show you 2 more pictures. First picture is of animals that give birth to their young ones. Second picture is of animals that lays eggs. Well, yes, all living beings grow and multiply. There are some animals and humans that give birth to their babies or young ones, while there are some animals that lay eggs to reproduce. Laying eggs. Many animals do not reproduce their young ones directly. They lay eggs. For example, in case of a hen, the hen lays eggs. They sit on the eggs and incubate them. Now one question comes, what is incubate? To keep an egg at right temperature so that it can develop and produce a chick. For many days to weeks, the eggs are protected and kept warm by the hen. This is called incubation. After the egg hatches, young ones comes out of the shelled eggs. Most snakes, lizards, insects, butterflies, frogs also lay eggs. The young ones hatches from the eggs. In the beginning, the young ones may look very different from the adult. As they grow, they begin to resemble their parents. Let us see some examples. See the picture of the life cycle of silkworm. In the life cycle of silkworm, the first stage is eggs. The eggs are laid by female moth, which is mostly of the size of small dots. Second stage is larvae. After the egg hatches, a hairy silkworm arises. These larvae feeds on mulberry leaves for around 30 days before going to the next stage. Stage 3, cocoon. In this stage, the silkworm spins a protective cocoon around itself. It is made of a single thread of silk and is of a size of a small cotton ball. Stage 4, pupa. Pupa stage is a motionless stage. In this stage, people kill the pupa by plunging the cocoon into boiling water and unwind the silk thread. Stage 5, moth. In this stage, pupa changes into an adult moth. The female moth lays eggs after mating, and thus the life cycle of silkworm begins again. Let us see the life cycle of a frog. Here, life cycle of a frog consists of 4 stages: egg, tadpole, tadpole with legs, and adult frog. Drastic changes have come in tadpole to become adult frog. Giving birth to young ones. Human beings and animals like cows, dogs, cats, sheep, goats, lions, and elephants give birth to babies. These animals are called mammals. The young ones of mammals grows inside the mother's womb. When they are born, they feed on their mother's milk till they grow up and can eat other food. Mammals take care of their young ones till they are able to look after themselves. Humans and their children. In the beginning, the baby grows inside the mother's womb for almost 9 months. The unborn baby gets its supply of oxygen and food from the mother's body through a tube that joins it to its mother. After growing inside the mother's body for 9 months, the baby is big enough to take birth. After the baby is born, for few months, the baby feeds entirely on the mother's milk. As the baby cannot eat or drink what we eat. Well, children, have you noticed any newborn in your family? You may have noticed. The newborn baby is very delicate. Great care has to be taken in early stages. The mother takes care of the child. She is the first one to know and connect with her child. Even after birth, mother is the first caregiver to her children. The way the mother interacts with the child during early months and years leave a deep impact on the child. Let us now start with the next topic, that is why children resemble with their parents. Children mostly resemble their parents. This resemblance is because children inherit certain features of their parents such as shape, color of the hair, eye and face, etc. Some children also resemble other members in the family like grandparents or aunts or uncle. The resemblance in the physical features and in habits and nature that children get from their parents or family members are called hereditary traits. What do you mean by hereditary? Hereditary is the process of passing the traits and characteristics from parents to offspring. Offspring means children. The offspring cells get their features and characteristics from their mother and father. If your mom and dad both have dreamy blue eyes, then you will also have dreamy blue eyes. Parents pass on traits or characteristics such as eye color and blood type to their children through their genes. Some health conditions and some diseases also can be passed genetically. Now, one question comes in mind, what do you mean by genes? Gene is a unit of information inside a cell which controls what a living thing will be like. Genes are passed from parents to children. Children, have you ever compared your photograph with your parents or grandparents? If not, do it. You will find some similarities. For example, you may have hairs like your grandmother, and eyes like your grandfather, or nose like your father, and lips like your mother. These similarities are due to hereditary traits or features or characteristics which you have acquired from your parents and grandparents. Family members have similar habits because they are related to each other and they learn their values and habits from one another. So, children, we have learnt about animals. Two ways by which animals multiply: humans and their children. Under animals, we have learnt animals are living things. Animals are of different shape, size, and nature. Animals are very useful to us. They breathe, eat food, grow in size, move from one place to another in search of food and home. Under the topic two ways by which animals multiply, we learned that they multiply by two ways: by laying eggs. Many animals do not reproduce their young ones directly. They first lay eggs. In the beginning, the young ones may look very different from the adult. As they grow, they begin to resemble their parents, giving birth to the young ones. Human beings and animals like cows, dogs, sheep, goats, lions, and elephants give birth to babies and are called mammals. After birth, the young babies feed on their mother's milk. Mammals take care of their young ones till they are able to look after themselves. Humans and their children. In human beings, the baby grows inside the mother's womb for almost 9 months. After birth, the child feeds on the mother's milk. Mother is the first one to know and connect with the child. Children resemble with their parents and other family members as there are similarities in hereditary traits or features or characteristics which they have acquired from their parents and family members. Children, I hope you have understood today's lesson. The topic which we have learned today are we learned about we have learned about animals, humans and their children, resemblance and heredity. Now let us come to adoption. The process by which a couple legally takes a child and raises him or her as their own is called adoption. Now one question comes to our mind: what do you mean by legally? It means allowed by law. Different type of parents. First, natural parents. Second type, adoptive parents. Third, foster parents. Natural parents. Some parents live, some children live with parents who they are born to. These parents are the natural parents. Adoptive parents. When a couple legally takes a child and raises him or her as their own, it is called adoption. The child is called an adopted child and the parent are called adoptive parents. Foster parents. There are some families that take another person's child into their home without becoming the child's legal parents. Such parents are called foster parents and the children are called foster children. Now, one question arises: why couples adopt children? Couples adopt children as they do not have children of their own. Some adopt to give a home to homeless children. Another question arises: what type of children are given for adoption? Children who are not able to get security and love are given for adoption. Children who lose their parents in disasters like earthquakes, cyclones, accidents, or due to illness are also given up for adoption. Practice of adopting should be encouraged. Yes, the practice of adopting should be encouraged as it provides home to many homeless children and their needs can be taken care of. Now there are two discussion questions which I am going to do. Do you think it is good for childless parents to adopt a child? Why? Yes, it is good. Many children have lost their parents and are disowned by the society. Disowned means rejected. When we adopt them, not only we give them social security and shelter, but also we get a child to whom we can proudly say that they are our own. Second question which comes to our mind is, if your parents ever adopted a child, how would you behave with the child? Answer is, we should show them love all the time and give them a secured environment where the difference between the biological and adopted child should not be felt at all. Now, one question arises: what do you mean by biologically? Biologically means the children who are born to their natural parents. Children, I hope you have understood today's lesson. The topics which we have learned today are: we learnt about animals, two ways by which animals multiply, humans and their children, why children resemble with their parents, what are hereditary traits, what do you mean by hereditary, adoption, different type of parents, why couple adopt children, what type of children are given for adoption, why practicing of adopting should be encouraged. Now I will ask you some questions which you have to do. What is reproduction? Question 2. What are mammals? Question 3. Are animals living or non-living? Question 4. What are hereditary traits? Question 5. For how long does a human baby grows inside the mother's womb before they are born? Question 6. Why practice of adopting should be encouraged? Question 7. What are orphans? Question 8. What are orphanages? Along with this, you will have to do one activity. You have to prepare a file and you have to collect information related to your birth from your parents about the date of birth, time, who was present at that time, name of the hospital, pictures of you as a baby. So children, this is the lesson we have learned today. See you again tomorrow, same time. Thank you all.